I think President Biden, politically, is as dead as fried chicken.
We now see that Biden refuses to resign. This leaves Democrats with a dead horse candidate. So now the Democrats are scrambling to replace Biden whether he resigns or not. Some are suggesting a switcheroo at the Democratic convention to nominate Michael.
I mean Michelle Obama.
She says she isn't interested, so that leaves cackling Kamala Harris as their best hope. I believe the phrase is being caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. Here is Senator Kennedy's take on the Democrats' dilemma, followed by clips of the brilliant and eloquent Kamala Harris.
And a Senator, John Kennedy. You know, Senator Kennedy, this is a big deal that one of your Democratic colleagues, Senator Warner, is having this meeting. When Biden was asked about this, he said, oh, that's just one senator. But it sounds like a lot of senators have concerns. And I'm wondering, you work with these senators every day. Do you think their concerns were assuaged tonight?
I'm not sure, Kaylee, that interviews like the president gave tonight matter much at this juncture. You can't make this cat walk backwards. People saw what they saw in that 90-minute debate. And I think most of them think that it's only a matter of time before President Biden stumbles again, because they understand that old age doesn't get better, it gets worse. Fairly or unfairly, I think most Americans have made up their minds. I think they have concluded that President Biden is old, that he is likely suffering from some form of neurodegenerative disease, that he's suffered from it for a while, and that the White House and many members of the media industrial complex have covered it up. And that cover-up has been toxic, in my opinion, for what it's worth. Politically, I think President Biden, politically, is as dead as fried chicken. He can quit, but he can be replaced. Let me just finish my thought. Or he can run and lose. You can't successfully run for President of the United States when your campaign slogan is, I'm only senile some of the time, as one commentator pointed out today.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically that's wrong.
I am here, standing here on the northern flank, on the eastern flank, talking about what we have in terms of the eastern flank and our NATO allies.
I wanted to know if you think, and if you asked the United States to specifically accept more refugees.
A friend in need is a friend indeed. I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. You know? What can be unburdened by what has been. 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 What we can see, what we believe can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
Who we can be, unburdened by who we have been.
What can be unburdened by what has been. Where we can be, unburdened by where we have been, and unburdened by where we are right now. What can be unburdened by what. We all watched the television coverage of just yesterday. That's on top of everything else that we know and don't know yet, based on what we've just been able to see. And because we've seen it or not doesn't mean it hasn't happened. But just limited to what we have seen. And we were all doing a tour of the library here and talking about the significance of the passage of time. Right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children. You know, when we talk about our children, I know for this group, we all believe that when we talk about the children of the community, they are the children of the community. Which brings me to May 30th, 2020. Bob and Doug returned to the Kennedy Space Center. They suited up, they waved to their families, and they rode an elevator up nearly 20 stories. They strapped in to their seats and waited as the tanks beneath them filled with tens of thousands of gallons of fuel. And then they launched. Yeah, they did.